forgot where I was going with that.
Angkor Wat is the reason you go to
is
Phnom
why you
Penh.
go. And so a big part of your trip to Angkor Wat is your tour guide. And you can get and by that I mean, well, there's tour guides per individual temples. But I mean, like, how are you getting around? Because it is an enormous complex of temples.
They're spread out
You need
way
a driver.
far.
You need a driver,
Yeah.
basically. And there's plenty of, like, every tuk-tuk driver will be like, oh, yeah, I'll take you to Angkor Wat. Because they want the money. They're going to charge you a lot, and they don't have to do shit.
They just sit there and wait.
Right.
Talk to their friends.
But
look
they're
at
also
monkeys.
going to maybe not steer you to the best temples, and they're going to steer you to the touristy restaurants where they get a cut.
Right.
You know,
like Vegas does with strip clubs.
Exactly. And they're going to take you to, like, oh, here's some great local products. And it's like their buddy's store, you know? And
Yep. That's what we did. As soon as we landed, the guy took us for suits. Like, hey, we don't want a suit. And
Yeah.
the guy just kept us there. And we're like, hey, dude, literally, we're not going to buy anything here. So
Yeah.
can we go on? And he's like, fuck you. And I'm like, you're my
Yeah.
cab driver.
Yep. Yeah.
Wait, what was I going to say?
So I got a driver through her that, like, that was, like, cool, and he was her friend, and you know, he was
That's nice to
learning
have.
English, and he was his desire was to have a tour company. You know, at the time he just had his tuk-tuk, and he wanted, like, a fleet. And one of the cool things is, over my trips there, he did get, you know, when I went the next time, he had multiple tuk-tuks. And then when I went in 2017, he had, like, nice, like, vans, like Toyotas, like
Really?
Sprinter vans. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got to break in as we go.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. I got to talk about the food, the toilets.
Yeah.
Explain what a tuk-tuk is to the people who don't
Yeah.
know.
So a tuk-tuk is the front of it is a motorcycle, and the back of it is like a bench seat with a little cover over it. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's facing benches, but it's really small and really rickety and fun.
Don't they deck them out sometimes in their own style?
Yeah, they'll deck them out, and, like, the ones in Cambodia would always have. Here's one thing. One of those things that, like, you remember when you get back is that, like, they would have, like, Angry Birds or some. They would always have some kind of, like,
something.
or it'd be like the Super Mario tuk-tuk. You know what I mean? It's always some shit to make you go, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this one. Mm-hmm. And, like, there was a lot of Batman and Jokers.
Yeah.
But it was key to have a driver that didn't
They didn't want to rob you or just
no,
take you
and
for
would,
a
like,
ride.
stop and be a lookout while I rolled a joint and smoked it right in front of a temple. You know.
Okay. So you gave me some advice before we get actually. Well, yeah, you gave me some advice before you went.
Yeah.
You said there are these tours they give you. Tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm misremembering it. I smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah.
There are these tours where it's like, we'll take you to Angkor Wat, but that means Angkor Wat, Angkor whatever, and Angkor something, and then the last one. And 3 of those 4, or 2.5 out of those
Yeah.
4, you don't really want to see.
Yeah.
So you were like, tell them to take you to these 4 temples.
Yep.
And fuck your regular tour.
Yep.
I want to go from here to there to there to there.
Yeah.
Do you remember what those were?
Yeah, some of them. I'm not going to remember. Wat Prom is one.
Wat Prom, yeah.
Wat Prom is the one from Tomb Raider that has the huge tree growing out of the ruins. It's this epic. It's incredible. And it's one of the, like, when I travel, I don't get a lot of pictures of me. I take pictures of other stuff. This is one where I was like, got some Russian tourist to
Take a picture of you?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to send me that.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might also have one.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool.
It's great. There's the Bayonne is the one with the faces. Everybody, when they think of Angkor Wat, maybe they think of the main temple complex, but I think of the Temple of Faces. Because it's so creepy and, like,
it's the size of this whole map.
Yeah,
And
these very, like, pleased faces, these kind of round, smooth, like,
Yeah.
pleasant Buddha faces. Yeah, and it has, like. It's so unique because they're so old. The temples are so old that they've got, like, this special moss that grows on them, and they all have their own unique characteristics. So, the way that different stuff reacts with the different, because the different temples are made out of different stones. Like, there's one called Bante Saray that is the most ornate. It is the one that's, like, super Baroque. That one's like a bright red stone. Like, that's one of the ones that you just got to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to go from memory. Angkor Wat is another one.
Angkor Wat, you got to see the main one. You got to see Angkor Wat.
And Tom From, is that one? Or
Yeah, that might be there's one that has, like, it almost looks Mayan, where it's like a big, like a stacked temple. I don't, that might be that one, but I don't recall that.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So they're fun as shit.
It's
You
great.
feel like Indiana Jones.
You feel like Indiana Jones, and also, like, if you read about the fact that those temples just got lost in the jungle for like hundreds of years, and then
Overgrown.
And like the people knew about it. The local people were like, yeah, that's out, yeah. And then when like white people started going to Cambodia, the French were like, get a load of this shit.
Do you know the story of the discovery of it?
No.
So this is so funny because I remember a Jimmy Carr joke in Montreal was doing Montreal like 300 or something, like 300 years in Montreal. He goes, what was here before that 300 years? And they're like, no, it's people coming here. It's like, but weren't there a type of people here before? He goes, but just not white people. Is that what you mean? Like, fuck, I guess so. He goes, you got to do away with this fucking stuff.
So it's like, let's talk about when white people discovered Angkor Wat.
Right, exactly. It's like the first time anyone's seen it. Like, no, humans. But some white guy was on a hike and was like, oh, what's this? And found it. He thought it was an abomination against Jesus. Told no one. Told like 2 people and said it was disgusting. And then it was like 30 years later, somebody else just also discovered it on his own.
Let me see this abomination.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, this is awesome. The guy's like, what? No, I found that. Delete that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that at all. Because they did all used to be completely covered in vines and growth. And what they're doing, they're still discovering new temples using LiDAR, using like they fly over with laser detection.
So cool.
Unbelievable. So it's constantly changing. And so every time I went to Cambodia, I went to Angkor Wat. Like I don't give a shit if I've been there before. It's one of the wonders of the world. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like, you know, you don't have to spend. The first time I went, I spent 3 days, you know, going back and forth to temple to temple to temple. I've never done that since, but like I'll do a day. You get a day pass.
It's Disney.
But they'll do like you can get like a 1, 3, or 5 day pass.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. It's one of the more expensive things there, but still not crazy if I remember right.
No, I mean you could pay $50 or more for the entry. I mean I shouldn't quote any number. I have no fucking idea what it is now, but like it wasn't cheap. But it is like they don't have a lot else going for them,
and they do have to keep it up.
There's a ton of upkeep. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the interesting things that happened when I was there too is a guy came up to me, a Cambodian guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, can I stop you? Hey," and immediately your alarm bells go off, and you're like, "Nah, man, I'm good. I don't need anything." He's like, "No, actually, I'm an archaeologist." Like he was literally there working on a temple, and he just wanted to be like, "I see you're a tourist. Do you want to see what I'm working on?"
Wow.
And at first was like, "Get the fuck out of my face!
Fuck, piece of shit!
Fuck off!
What's your fucking charity?"
Just put on my headphones. Like, no.
Isn't there a way? Didn't you get in somehow for sunset where they like can't be here? Am I remembering right?
Yeah, it's like they try to like control the sunset access to some of the places, and they just get super crowded. Is all. Like it's not like you can go there. It's just like some people like really camping out. And I just had the tour guide was just like, "Oh, I know a place we can go where other people don't go as much, but you can still see sunset on the temples, and you know." Smoke a joint while you see the sunset over Angkor Wat, which is pretty fun. Yeah.
Dude, just for a second, describe these moments when you're traveling where it's just, it's epic is I guess the word, and you know it. You're just like, and it's a very American thing to do, to go like, isn't this awesome? But like, regardless of what kind, it's still, you're feeling it. You're fucking watching the sunset over Angkor Wat.
For me, when I was a little kid, I had the Carmen Sandiego game. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? And that's how I learned about all these other countries. And I remember when I was a kid, Angkor Wat was one of the pictures.
Oh, wow.
And so like it had something to do with like that sparked my desire to travel and all this shit. And it was just cool to be there and be like, I remember seeing this as a little kid and thinking, what a far-flung place this is.
Real.
What it's across the world, and now I'm here. And it's sometimes where like the monumentality of the place you're in forces you to be in the moment. Like it kind of just jerks you into just being like, oh, look where I'm at. Like this is, you know, you're not thinking about, oh, what do I got to do when I get back home, or you're just like, yeah, wow.
You're in one of the coolest spots in the fucking world in a sunset. It's just like,
even if you are ADD and flighty, like you will be like, oh, okay, wow.
When I got back from Southeast Asia, there were all these like writers meetings, and they were always trying to get me like, let's do a show about it and stuff like that. But I'm like, dude, what I've never been able to capture, except through a bit of podcasting, is how to express. You're out all day in this smelly tuk-tuk. You're getting to a place.
It's hot as shit. You haven't seen air conditioning, and it's like, the first time I was there was April, which is pre-monsoon season, is bone dry and like 120 fucking degrees. And all the photos from my time there in 2012, not a fucking cloud in the sky. And I mean, it was brutal. But then finally it cools down. There's a sunset. You're there, and it's beyond that. There's moats around all these, so you get the sun reflecting off of the water, and it's magical.
Where you been and where you going? This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna go on a journey today and see what there's to see in this big world. We're exploring different places, seeing all different types of faces. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's you,